t'avais pas demandé comment toi ça va en ce moment.
Ça va.
Est-ce qu'on fait une intro pour ça ou pas? Enfin, genre, salut, je sais pas quoi.
Hey! Hey, Andre!
Hey, man. Alright, so let's talk about Spore. So, last time we got to the solo section. We still have. What is it?
6 minutes?
About, yeah. 6.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, so we've gone through half of the song.
Half of the song.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a very, very personal song. I think it's the first one on the album that feels that personal. I'd say 3 songs on the album are especially personal. Is this one, the Amensal Rise and the Commensal Fall.
Yep.
The entire album follows a theme and a concept that is very personal to me, indeed. But those 3 songs are very, in terms of lyrics, in terms of expression, they touch upon very, very personal subjects. And I think I wanted Spore to follow, in terms of dynamics and movements, exactly the dynamic of the situation I was trying to transcribe in the lyrics. So
Chronologically,
okay. In terms of how this subject makes me feel. So whereas in the past those very crazy song structures, they just came around very organically in terms of me reaching a point in the song where I was like, oh, we need a change of pace, let's switch it up, and then
yeah.
In this
like
case,
a reactionary,
exactly, like
more than planned ahead.
What came before, what comes after. In this case, it was very much a matter of me trying to tell a story, not only with the lyrics, but with the intentions of the song as well. I would like to think it's not too gimmicky, because it's very particular to this song in the album. But I would not feel comfortable doing this, like in a lot of songs on one album, like going crazy with a lot of noise and dissonance and then going straight to the jazz. Like, I think that's a very strong statement, and it should not be overdone. So to have it all crammed into this song on the album felt comfortable.
Not sure if it's all crammed into this song. I mean,
it's particularly dense in this song. I think the changes of
the
moods.
differences, yeah, exactly. The degree of the shift of pace from here. It's you're saying it's something that, if I remember correctly, you said that it's not something that you're looking to necessarily reproduce.
The structure thing I actually am doing for the next album right now. So that's something I quite enjoy.
I was kind of trying to get there.
Yeah, it started, but the crazy transition bit and going all over the place.
Oh yeah, right.
That's something I don't want to overdo too much.
Yeah.
At least not for
you don't want it
the
to
near
become
future.
the Omnerod gimmick of.
Yeah, because like some other bands and acts do this pretty well, and it's become kind of a gimmick for them, but in a good way, like the Igor or bands or like that.
Typically, yeah.
And Between the Buried and Me have been doing that for years as well.
12-Foot Ninja.
12-Foot Ninja, yeah, Mr. Bungle, and I feel like that's not our gimmick, because it's sometimes, if it's not done right, it can take away from the actual emotion of the song and become more of a musical statement.
Yeah.
And I that's not something I want to pursue. I think the emotion should always come first, and in this particular case, I think it contributes to the emotion that's behind the song, but in many cases, I don't think it would.
All right, let's. Speaking of that, let's maybe dive into one of my favorite parts of the song, which is the second verse. After the solo, we have this whole big thing.
Nice. Pretty good cover.
Yeah, I mean, yes. One more time. This is such a Romain thing to do. You put in like the hardest, freaking sweepy, harmonically really weird and complex run in a place where we cannot hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Because no one cares about sweeps.
Yeah.
So why would I want people to hear that?
It is a really cool one. Maybe here, I really like what the bass does in this part.
Yeah. very fun.
Really fun.
Very fun. Very fun riff. And it's also, I think, supported by a couple of FX tracks.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely.
Not sure. Maybe it
Well,
is.
my FX.
We can check. So the pattern is different, but the exact notes are similar in both what you're playing and those effects.
I think the bells are playing something similar too. I didn't know that was in there, huh? What else is there? Oh, so hopeful. So beautiful.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Unironically.
Unironically for once,
Yeah.
What else? Oh,
the harmonica. And because it's so dense, it's not that audible in the end results.
Yeah.
But there's one particular note that pops out pretty well. The next one.
This.
Those harmonies in this section, I think, are
One of my favorites.
some of the best we've done on this album. Like,
as I get to realize we can achieve harmony, symbiosis. Every breath you take is new ground to start all over again. The five of us, freight by the winds like spores stuck in a storm. Freight by the winds like spores stuck in a storm.
very, very musical sounding.
Absolutely. Musical theater kind of thing. So
it's a very. I think that's always a very good sounding way to stack harmonies when you have a main line that is very consistent, like a pedal note. Which is the case
almost,
here.
Yeah, there's one note that changes, but
Bringing a lot of movement in the added harmony is always a very good tip, and the other way around as well. When you have a bass line that's very complex, having harmonies that are more stagnant.
Yep, absolutely.
And so we will be together anywhere, Mike.
Yeah, very spicy.
Nice, spicy. But compared with everything else that's going on, I wouldn't say that this is the spiciest part. But
Yeah, it's just in this particular case, using those harmonies to help smoothen that transition towards the chorus, which is in a different key.
Oh, okay.
So you have those initially that transition was through the guitar riff and the guitar chords that felt quite a bit abrupt in the changes. So having those very smooth harmonies helps transitioning from one section to the other.
The guitar plays this here.
Which on its own is not a good transition because it's very very direct and it's
Kind of jagged, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't build up around that mood change. But the harmony,
We don't have that
harmonies and
climax
effects,
thing going on, yeah.
Yeah.
So now let's move to the chorus.
Yeah.
All right.
The drums going from a 4/4 pattern to a 3 pattern. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, then going to 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3. This helps bring a sense of urgency and maybe a bit of panic in there.
Absolutely, because of that, this kind of the whole thing throughout the whole chorus and the chaos. We should have shortening. I feel like the musical phrase all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here throughout this whole chorus we don't have a ramp of speed.
No.
It's just a 90, 4/4, very, very chill.
And the end of this chorus is quite interesting as well, because you have this pattern on the guitars like and then one side goes up and the other side goes down. So it builds up towards the chaos that's right after it, and kind of it's installing this dissonance.
Let's listen to the second part of that chorus. They kind of, instead of, so they're really tight together, it's like a one big guitar, and then right before that chaos they just shift out of focus. I think again here maybe we can have a little dive into the vocals. I think that's the coolest part on that by far.
Anywhere, my selfish quest for
Here as well.
Yeah.
The switch.
And this switch that's something we did quite a lot on the song. I think we mentioned it in the first part as well. But again here, that last sentence of the verse is we'll be together anywhere, and there's like two voices, and then
many voices. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 voices at the same time.
Yeah, and then we go straight into that chorus, and the first word is my selfish quest, and then that's the lonely voice in the center.
Yeah, just one. Yeah,
I think it's
with less effects and all that. Yeah.
For anyone listening, I think it maybe contributes in a subconscious manner to the feeling that's carried by the lyrics.
At least we hope so. That was the plan.
Yeah.
So, starting to mix some screams, some pitch screams to it to add grit.
And then right after this, that question and answer thing.
Yeah.
Which kind of I think in a lot of ways musically it always kind of evokes some kind of madness or conflict, like voices shouting at each other, which also helps to build towards that chaos that's after.
Absolutely. Let's listen to the whole thing.
To hell with chemistry, I leave it all to chance. I see no casualty, from chaos I commence. To hell with no track 2.
Yeah.
And this was so we're doing lead vocal and a scream version of it, left, right, and then they flip.
Yeah.
Lead vocal, scream version. Yeah.
Sit back and laugh. Sit back and laugh.
So this is just those 5 tracks here, or 6 tracks. We just recorded improvised noise, yelling, trying to kind of follow that chaos thing. By we I mean Droma, and then he just edited it to one mono track apparently, and it's in there.
Yeah.
All right, let's just listen to the effects.
And that second half of this chaos bit was, I think it's pretty cool how all of a sudden it goes into an actual riff.
Yeah,
Which sounds pretty heavy. Just like the effects were added in a way to make the guitar sound less structured, I think we did quite a bit of work on the guitar recording to make the guitar sound very crazy as well.
Let's hear that.
So the movement is the same in both guitars, but the notes, the chords, and the effects are very different.
différent. C'est marrant, truc là. Marrant. Ça vous amuse de faire du bruit comme ça? On a un chien. Il devient fou. Ah oui, quoi aussi. Quoi de quoi?
On peut coder tout ça avec une fuzz, non? Comment ça pour le premier?
Yeah, so, and then we move into
Yeah.
jazz.
Yeah, jazz.
Oh wait, we lied to those poor people.
That's Frank.
No. We said that we never go down. This
This is the only
This
instance.
is the only instance in the whole album where the tempo actually goes down.
Yeah. As Andre said earlier, we're not jazz musicians. I love jazz and I love listening to jazz and go to jazz shows and everything. But I'm
Good
not.
for you.
Yeah. Thanks, man. But I'm not a good jazz player at all, and so when writing this section, it felt very not spontaneous and very crafted. Like every note was thought, like it was not written as a jazz player would have written it. And in this case, the fact that Frank, who was playing the piano on top of this, is a beast of a player and played in a very improvised manner and with a lot of freedom, kind of made the whole section a bit more loose than if he hadn't been there.
Absolutely. I was quite surprised at how little he plays. When I listened to those stems again.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Really nice.
Beautiful
like
touch.
really pretty. I also have to say I love this guitar here. Let's get a beer for the next part.
T'en as?
Tu veux? J'en ai. Je dois l'épicer de toute façon.
Underrated, la cristal. C'est underrated.
C'est pas mal, hein?
J'aime beaucoup, moi.
Oui, moi j'aime bien aussi.
Je crois que c'est ma piste préférée.
I didn't know listening to the first time to this song, like what the fuck is gonna happen after this jazz? Like how is it gonna move into?
Yeah, that was a big challenge because there's a lot of orchestration that's not. It's not played by like the core foundation of our band, like the guitars and bass, and so we had to kind of keep our fingers crossed.
That'll
So that
work,
it would
yeah.
work eventually with the one-man choirs, with the acoustic guitar played by Eric, with the piano by Frank.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff we didn't have in the demo, so we were hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andre,
fun.
let's drink to the breaking of our dams. Hooray!
Here's an interesting part, maybe production-wise.
Yeah.
Because it's such a movement from part to part to part. Drums change their sound a lot. We go from this jazzy drum. This is already a different drum set. There, we made sure to match the general color as much as possible so that it sounds like it's played on the same kit. But so we move to two different kits, the jazz kit then into the rock kit right here. Trying to use a similar sounding ride,
Yeah.
just so that this sounds like the same thing. But this wouldn't have sounded anywhere the same on the
No.
jazz kit. Would have been because the toms on the jazz kit were this. Boom boom and not tum, 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 tum. Well, we matched them a little bit, but and here we move from a rock sound to like this, well, to from a transition sound to a rock sound as well. So not only the kit changes, but then also the whole mixing of the drums morphs throughout this part. You can hear it on the snare. Like here we have this snare roll, which sounds very roomy, kind of far away, and then when the riff hits, the snare is here.
Yeah.
Eventually we move into the metal kit, here at the end of the outro.
Yeah, yeah.
Into this stuff.
Here, I think what's interesting is to have a direct comparison between a skilled, experienced, classical trained guitar player playing a section with his fingers, an acoustic section, and then the same section being played with a pick by a newbie guitar player who doesn't know what he's doing.
I guess playing the same thing?
Yeah, and I was just like doing string skipping like an absolute madman with playing with a pick. Yeah, because I can't play with my fingers like to save my life. So.
And he has this really beautiful roll.
Oh yeah, it's so good. So good.
And then the accents are just right, and then bang, tang, tang, tang. Let's do it one more time. But together it sounds really nice.
Together they're combining pretty well. Very Beach Boysy bass lick.
Very much, yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. And that gets us to the...
Stop what you're doing, by the way, and go listen to the Beach Boys, because they're better than every other band you've been listening to this last week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, I never listened to the Beach Boys, I think. I mean, besides the radio hits.
You
yeah.
should.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Alright, I'll try.
I've been raving about the Beach Boys with everyone around me.
Seriously?
For
Is it like
the last months? Yeah.
Is it like a new thing for you?
Oh yeah, that's a new thing.
Oh
for
yeah?
me. Yeah.
It's like the Beatles, man. You give if you have the right combo of people and you make them play a shit ton together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Beatles wish they were half as good as the Beach Boys.
Oh, come on. Hot take from this
I
episode.
just said it.
Wow. One man choirs.
Yeah, so the entire like last third of the song is based around a lot of vocal experiments. Mostly those choirs at first. It was kind of a challenge to write that and compose that, but
Okay.
because the foundation of it sounds very happy,
Hmm.
and I needed to make it sound not as happy in the vocals to bring a bit of contrast. One-man choirs are always difficult. Always difficult.
Always difficult, and that I think is something that I would like to maybe try do a bit differently, or just find other ways
Yeah.
around it for the next stuff you're gonna do. because
Yeah.
I love doing them with you. I just never think they come out as good as
Yeah.
we thought. So here we have this one.
Blossoming under sun and rain, all the worry now seems vain, though I'll always feel ashamed. I'm just waiting for the end. Let's drink to the breaking of our dance.
Yeah, and the cool thing here, I think, is that the different layers kind of move apart from each other throughout the entire section.
Yeah.
And then they just meet back again for this very last line in which they will sing the same melody in different octaves. And I think it kind of brings a lot of release and power to the transition towards the next section.
Absolutely, yeah. This transition there is so cool, and the riff that comes after. And this is sort of a throwback to like that verse riff.
Yeah, staccato.
Ish.
Yeah,
the
kind of.
bum, ba-dap, the bum, bum, ba-dap kind of thing.
Yeah. This was when I wrote that riff. The influences for me were very clear. I wanted to take inspiration from Leprous, but even more so like bands that are kind of in the same scene as Leprous, but more rock than prog or metal,
Okay.
like Agent Fresco or
Yep.
Marathon.
Yep, yeah. With the staccato, complex chordish
Staccato
thing.
with a single coil kind of.
Yeah.
But eventually, it ended up sounding like pop punk.
It did.
Which is one
How do you feel about that?
a genre I hate, and Julien like named this section the pop punk section in his DAW, and I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah.
Yep. There's a lot of, emotionally at least, I feel like the Amensal Rise is closer to pop punk ethos than it is to metal, than it is to, because it's I always felt like pop punk is the music from people who are depressed but pretending they're not, and
Metal,
metalheads
yeah, that's
is music from people who are
Not
not depressed but they pretend they are.
That's a hot take, but a funny one. Yeah. I can understand that.
Well, my favorite riffs.
Let's say I like this riff as well. I'm pretty unhappy about how it turned out in the end.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because I feel like I still...
The general tone or the specifically guitar?
Specifically the guitar. I feel like I still have not found a way to make a good single coily riff sound. To make a single coily riff sound good in such a context. I think it still feels a bit flat when I hear it that way.
Okay.
And it lacks dynamic, it lacks twang, it lacks expression, like resonance within the chords. It still feels pretty much like a metal guitar with like the volume knob rolled down a bit.
I see what you mean. Ha! There's a little layer there of just kakak, kakak.
Yeah, there's some quad tracking.
Kakak.
Quad tracking for the chugs. Yeah. I think maybe the problem I have with this is that there's too much gain.
Yeah, maybe. So this is a little para little big pop punk part.
And then on the second version of that, there's this completely crazy lead guitar.
Oh yeah, that's fun. Let's just listen to this transition. Let's talk about this transition very quickly.
It's very simple. Just keep playing the same riff and have a whammy on one side octave, 1 octave up, and the other side 2 octaves up, and then add a ring mod, and then you have it.
A lot of things to talk about here in this outro. I'll mention this. It's like, it sounds like it should loop, and then it never does.
Yeah, it never loops, and then I decided to add this fucking harmony.
une balle dans le pied.
Il sait même pas tirer.
C'est ça.
All right, so this was the cool lead, and of course, in a perfect Roma manner, this goes along a very complex harmonically riff and vocal,
Yeah.
which is why are you doing this to yourself?
None of our remedies will be drowned out by the sounds of the sea. Soon vanishing sceneries will be all that we see.
There's a few of lo-fi layers as well in here.
Soon none of our remedies will be drowned out by the sounds of the sea.
Because we wanted to have actually all three of those harmonies
As lo-fi
as
versions.
lo-fi versions to cut through the mix again, because as you guys heard, there's a lot of stuff happening. So to sort of make sure that the vocal here is a nice little box. And then we have this whole next part.
Sea blossoming, oh, I'll always feel ashamed. I'm just waiting for the end.
Ah voilà, enfin on peut travailler.
Putain, c'est comme ça qu'on devrait travailler tout le temps.
Mais oui.
Ça suffit plus souvent.
En fait, je sais pas pourquoi on le fait debout, tu sais. Je te mets le micro ici et c'est bon.
Soon none of our remedies will be drowned out by the sounds of the sea. Will be flushed out by the sea. Ah non, il y a une autre harmonie. Will be flushed out by. Soon none of our remedies will be flushed out by. Will be flushed out by the sea. C'est ça. Soon none of our remedies will be drowned out by the sounds of the sea. Soon vanishing sceneries will be all that we see. Soon vanishing sceneries will be all that we see. Soon none of our remedies will be drowned out by the sounds of the sea. Soon vanishing sceneries will be all that we see. Soon none of our remedies. The worry now seems vain, though I'll always feel ashamed. I'm just waiting for the end.
Time to talk about the hardest part to record.
Okay. So, first the piano bit, which was the initial idea, was to have this piano outro. Yeah. So that first piano section, same chord progression as the solo earlier in the song.
Okay.
And the second half of that piano section, same chord progression as the verse in the song. So the first one is very dramatic, moody, and kind of sad, and then the second one is more uplifting, more
Okay.
empowering a bit. Pablo is a very skilled piano player. He's been playing piano for many years, and he's very good, and I thought it was a good opportunity for him to shine on this. So I told him, okay, you have those chord progressions. Main influences are Eric Satie, Storm, the ending of Storm by Godspeed You Black Emperor, and the outro to Leper Affinity by Ep.5. So those are all different like piano bits, but that share a similar mood or vibe. And he wrote this beautiful piece. We were together when he wrote it, and it works really well. And for the vocals, the idea was to have during this first half of that section a reversed vocal line that was too hard to decipher in terms of the lyrics that were sung. So it was just a movement of notes and breath. And then to have the actual lyrics come in the second half. And that melody and the lyrics were not written up until the very morning we recorded that.
You have to sing in reverse.
For something I had to sing in reverse, and recording this reverse thing was an absolute bitch.
So this was recorded on a piano that was reversed.
Yeah, so we
this
had
order.
reversed the piano bits, and of course a chord progression sounds very intuitive and makes a lot of sense in the right order. But when you reverse it, in terms of release and tension and release, it makes no sense. So trying to figure out how to sing on top of that was a very surprisingly difficult task.
And then eventually this thing shifts into the main vocal. So I have this note that ends here and starts here at the same time, and the vocal kind of shifts forward now because it's with different effect and and a lot more present. And then it does the final melody of the song. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that was
a
really
fun one.
difficult.
That was
difficult
difficult.
section to record, and that's something I was really proud of at the time. That very last note of the vocal section, it's the same notes as the beginning of Magnets.
And you're going from this super intimate, super gentle, very vulnerable, tiny voice to the biggest opening on the
that's
album.
a very intense moment.
Yeah.
I think that's it for the song.
I think that's it for the song. Yeah, that's a pretty big one.
That's a very big one. Very proud of it personally. Very special song, I think, in many ways.
This was a hard one, and I remember in the mix stages. Let me just check, but I believe I have my archives here. Spore. Yeah, we had 11 versions of this mix. Okay, maybe not more. Maybe not that much more than the other ones. No, actually, yeah. Satellites was the very first song that we mixed, so that's why there's 14. Is because it's because honestly, the first 6 were just trying to find the sound of the album, if not more than that. And Spore was not the second song mix at all, if I remember correctly, and it has the most revisions of all of the other songs, just because it was so difficult to find the right combo. And I still think that there's a lot of parts that didn't exactly come out as I wanted them. The general vibe of the song could probably still shine better, but
I think it's typically in this song is a good example of this sounds as good as it could sound with the resources and experience we have.
Yeah,
we couldn't have done better, but maybe
I
us
agree.
in 20 years or people more skilled than what we are couldn't make it sound
or at least
better.
with the skills that are more attuned to this type of production, to this type of music. All right, so this was Spore.
This was exhausting.
This was it?
This song, yeah.
Oh, the song, yes.
No, but I mean, even the filming those 2 parts,
that's long.
it's 2 hours of each part, 4 hours.
For sure.
So this was very long. I'm sorry, Future Romain, for
Sorry, buddy.
editing. You'll have to.
Yeah, this was 2 hours again. So now we
Fuck
have
you,
4
though.
hours.
It's on you, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Now we have to make this 4 hours into a 30 minutes, hour maybe long. So see you next time for Magnets.